Hello and good evening and welcome to a special program on NewsX brought to you by 1xBet. In the 18th match of the 2023 World Cup, Australia faced Pakistan at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore. Pakistan won the toss and opted to field. Bad decision it seems. Australia batted first, posting, what is the latest score, Tasmin?
355 for the loss of 6.
55 for the loss of 6.
47.3 overs gone now.
Absolutely. So we are just about to finish the 48th over and this is what it looks like. I think they're going to surpass and reach out to a 375 kind of figure. Remember, Australia walks in as injured with not too many players up on their sleeves. However, they achieved their 21st century, making the 5th World Cup century. This is the David Warner. Glenn Maxwell was dismissed for a 0, caught by captain Babar Azam of Shaheen Afridi's bowling, who secured his second wicket and also removing Mitchell Marsh at 121 runs. Warner had two lucky escapes, with Abdullah Shafiq dropping a catch of Usma Mir's delivery in the 33rd over. Usma himself dropped a catch from Shaheen's bowling in the 5th over. Oh gosh. Pakistan fast bowlers, despite choosing to field after winning the toss, struggled apart from Shaheen Afridi and Haris Rauf's and Hassan Ali's conceded many runs, with Rauf giving away 24 runs in his first over. Notably, David Warner was the fortunate to survive on a personal score of 10. And this is what it looks like. And guess what? We've got two of the esteemed guests here who've played at the international level for over 15 years. One still playing, the other retired and still playing in the Legends League, who got picked up yesterday. Christopher Pofu from Bulawayo. Christopher, what do you think of the match today?
It's the Australia that people have been looking for, but when you look at it, also you say at the same time that there were chances that should have been taken, especially at this level. You can't be dropping. For me, I would say simple chances that I saw being dropped. So definitely for me, the way Pakistan have gone about it, I don't think they see on my side that you cannot progress to the next level if you're going to be dropping just simple catches like those ones.
Chris, it seems Pakistan's performance and your internet connection have been together and they're like similar. I'm going to come to my guest while you handle and log out and log in. Tasmin, what do you think of the way Pakistan has been playing? Do you think it's bad, worse, or atrocious?
It's actually really not up to standard, and it's just not good enough for someone that's fighting to hold on to the 4th spot, obviously looking to make it through to the semi-finals. I really don't know what's been going on through the thought processes for them as well today. You know, we've seen bowlers just not being consistent enough, not managing to hold their line. And even if they do hold their line, we've seen Warner and Marsh up front definitely making way for them. You know, there was some stage where they were really bowling well, hitting the areas, but we've seen Warner start moving his feet. We've seen him start playing the lap a lot more. There was a 6 that hit the top of the stadium.
Oh my God.
98 meters from David Warner. From that point onwards, I just knew to say Warner was going at it today. He wasn't holding anything back.
Chris, are you back with your technology glitches away?
Yeah.
Absolutely. What do you think? Did the bowlers bowl really bad, or was it the hurt, injured and revengeful Aussies? I'm going to push that question on to you, Tasmin.
Yeah,
was it the hurt or the revengeful, or Pakistan was atrociously?
I think it's a good combination of everything going on right now. We know Australia's fighting. We spoke about it. We said that Australia is going to be looking to force their way into the top 4 right now. And what more way of a better way to do it than to take out this team that's actually sitting at number 4 to stake a claim and show England, no matter how hard you're working, we're working 2 times as hard to get our feet back in that door.
This will definitely, remember, in the morning we discussed, it's not about just the 2 points. It's about the net run rate. It's about the run rate that determines which of the 4 teams actually make it to the semi-final. It has happened in the past where 3 teams have been together at the same cluster. And what differentiates and decides? It's your net run rate. Remember, India yesterday was playing very aggressively, not for an individual scoring a century, but also putting up the run rate up. And therefore, India is just a notch below the New Zealand up there at number 2. However, Chris is back. Chris,
Yeah, I'm here, Sunil.
Great. Chris, take us through the bowling. How bad they bowled? Did they bowl too short, or were they bowling in the arc for the batters to hit across?
Like I said, when you look at that, it's not the Pakistan that I know, especially what I saw from Harish Rav. I expected more from him. In the past few years, he's done quite well for them. But I think for me, I'll put it on over trying. Yes, he has the pace, but there's a time where you realize the people that you're bowling to, the Australians are used to pace, and there's a time where you need to change your strategy. I felt like it was in the Pakistani bowling side that I praised a few months ago in the Asian Cup. They just look totally different for me. Like you say, there were a couple of short stuff that I believe Australians really love to get onto. So it wasn't as good as I expected them to do.
Well, it wasn't as good as we expected it to be. Well, we're going to shift our focus to the Aussies bowling right now. Tasmin, I'm going to come to you and understand how the Aussies are placed when it comes to bowling right now in this all crucial match today.
So definitely one thing you must take into consideration right now, Australia's seamers have been doing the job. Before I even get to Zampa and I get to Maxwell as a part-timer, one thing you must understand is Australia has enough people, just as well as New Zealand and just as well as any team with fast, South Africa right now. They have more than enough options running for them up front. They can turn to Stark. They can turn to any one of their seamers right now to turn around and take wickets for them, because they have the ability. They have guys that are able to swing the ball, and they have guys that are tall enough to get any purchase out of the surface. We've seen today, for me personally, I vouched this morning to say Usman should get a game in, and he was turning the ball. He was turning it brilliantly. Already for me, that leaves me thinking, what is Adam Zampa going to be able to do on this surface today?
Right. Chris, what do you think of the King Babar Azam, as they call him, the Zimbabwe Azam?
I think these are the games where he has to show the class that people are talking about, against a team like Australia. That's where we bring that and see how good he is, and it will be good to see him actually scoring runs. He's a wonderful lad, and I still rate him. But like I say, I always rate him after Cody. So it will be good to.
Right. Wicket.
Right. Tasmin, is there a wicket that you see? What is the final score right now on this thing?
So currently Australia 363 for the loss of 7, just having lost Marius Labuschagne. They still got one more over to go as well. So I say definitely 375, 380 on the cards at the rate that they're going at.
Well, 375, 380 looks an astonishingly huge total, mammoth total that has been perhaps never been chased. Your view, when the team goes into bat and suddenly someone as mercurial as Pakistan, is Chris back, and can we take him on for the next question? If yes, Chris, you back?
Yeah, apologies, like the network hasn't been that friendly to us.
No problems. Chris, in 30 seconds, how would you describe the batting, the middle order batting of Pakistan for this, for the overall tournament?
I haven't been really impressed, to tell the truth. Like saying, for me, it will also lie on the top order to really start well. They haven't done.
Well, you want to complete that, Tasneem?
Yeah, definitely. I'm with Chris on this one. Pakistan's middle order hasn't done much justice for them, because once we see them lose Baba, once we see them lose Baba at the top of the innings, and now everybody all of a sudden is saying, oh no, look, it's Pakistan. We know that in the last game they lost just for the loss of 30. They only got 35 runs for the loss of 7 wickets last time around in their middle order. So their middle order really needs to back up Baba today at the top of the order, or else I think the Australian net run rate is going to be flying through the roof tomorrow.
Any more update you want to talk about the Rouse, the Harris over, which went off for like huge runs?
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure Warner and Mitchell Marsh definitely had a plan today as to take on Shaheen Shah Afridi, as well as take off Ralph Bidey, because what they did was earlier on, nobody stayed in their crease. For a start, Warner was batting a good foot out of his crease, and not to mention the fact that when that didn't work for him, he just started walking down the track as well. I'd have expected Pakistan bowlers maybe to look to bowl slightly shorter to him, obviously adjust your length a bit, and if that still doesn't work, try to take the pace off it, because he looked so comfortable facing them up front. They took Shaheen Shah off for a while as well, gave him a bit of a breather, and when he came back, he's the one that came through with the breakthrough for them, taking 2 quick wickets in his over.
Well, we spoke about how David Warner was playing, and if Chris is back, I don't think so he is. Is Chris back? No, he's not back. Do you think there was a walk in the park for David Warner? He was playing as if he's playing in the nets. He's just toying with the idea about the way things were happening.
Definitely. Warner looked super comfortable for me today. You know, like I didn't see much of a challenge. Obviously, being dropped in the 5th over, and I spoke about it this morning. I said, the thing is, you're at a World Cup, it's on a big stage. And the moment guys are given a first life, given a second life, best believe from there onwards, they believe that they are invincible. They're going to go at it with everything that they've got, because luck is on their side that day.
Absolutely. Luck is definitely on their side. But beyond the luck, beyond all the charisma and everything that you put together on the screen, we also have something called the statistics. Sports is usually driven by statistics, whether it's your medal, whether it's your trophy and the championship. And we've got some of the figures that we managed to put together of these two. In a moment, we'll be able to see those figures, and we'll be able to go together on the screen to deconstruct the entire thing onto it. But before we do that, one quick question from Tasmeen. Tasmeen, how is the match looking if you were on Pakistani team right now, the think tank? Do you think it'll be a cause of concern for you?
Oh yes, definitely, you know, but they definitely have scoreboard pressure on their side before they even start thinking of mental pressure on their own or dressing room pressure. But one thing you must realize is the same track that Australia scored all these runs on is the same track they're going to go bat on as well. So definitely it's just a chance for them to apply themselves, and like we keep mentioning, their middle order needs to come to the show. Right now they are Australia at 363 for the loss of 9. Again, 2 quick wickets coming in Shaheen Shah's Afridi's over. Taking 2 quick wickets as well to him, that's Josh Hazlewood gone, as well as Mitchell Starc. And we know what these two guys are capable of.
Chris, is this a late comeback from the Pakistani bowlers? Because they were looking at getting belted all around, and 380 was unacceptable. So you tell me, is it a late comeback?
When I see the score, you know, these 2 quick wickets, yes, it's still a very big score. This is the time now where you say, okay, we've taken these quick wickets. And then when we come into bat, yes, it is a mammoth total, but it's given them a little bit of what I can say, a little bit of a breather, because at one stage, the way those Australians were going, I thought 400 was on the card. So when they come in, I'm sure they've got nothing to lose right now. The score is just too big at the moment. So these are the moments when you create legends. Like they say, that history was meant to be, you know, records are meant to be broken. And these are the times where you come in, like Tez has said it. It's a subject that Australia managed to bet on. So they have to come in and do the same. But we see how it goes. But like Tez said it, already mentally, you've already been, I can say you're beaten because of the score. But you know, history has to be just do something and make it at the same time.
Well, Chris, another question to you. Fiver from Shaheen Shah Afridi. Do you think he's finally decided to come to the party?
Yeah, you know, I've always rated the guy. And when you look at it now, getting this wicket, it will definitely give some boost, and I can say he's finally come to the party. It might be a little bit too late, but you know, what matters is that you still came to the party.
Yeah, absolutely. Warner and Marsh earlier in the day, opening partnership set a World Cup record for Australia, 259 runs. Tasneem, if your opening batters score 259 runs, what is the overall response?
You know, I think it's definitely a huge milestone for them. One thing you must remember is they had both guys scoring hundreds just within 5 balls of each other. That already lets you know that not one person was on the steering wheel, but they had 2 cars and they were both just going. It wasn't a race against Pakistan, but more or less a race against each other to get to those personal milestones. Again, just the second 100 coming up for Mitchell Marsh, which is a big achievement for him as well in his career. And what a time to do it as well on a World Cup stage when your team needs it the most.
Absolutely, when your team needs the most. When Aussies go in with a plan to completely destroy and demolish Pakistan. What do you think the discussion would be on largely? Chris, if you can hear us. Chris, you've been on the other side for far too long on certain occasions. But yeah, what would be the discussion on this?
Team, they'll sit down and say, we've done the right thing with our betting. Now it's the time for us as bowlers to be the first thing in such games. You want to be ruthless.
Well, we said there is a network issue coming from Bulawayo, and we'll come back to another Bulawayo player. Tasneem, is this a cause of concern for them to take over a mammoth score like this?
Yeah,
would there be a plan for Pakistan?
I think they have to have a plan. You know, just going at about a run a ball right now just won't be good enough for them right now. They need to be looking for loose balls. They need to be looking for any bigger scoring opportunities. If it's not coming into the arc, move your feet, you know, create a new arc for yourself to work out of. But in the same sense, they can't be reckless about it, because at the end of the day, we've said this time and time again, that their order is anchored by 2 or 3 batsmen at the most. So those guys, you have to expect one of those guys to bat through. For example, exactly what Warner did. He took his time out there, you know, he's created partnerships with at least 5 guys out there. And that's something Babar's got a concern to think about today.
Well, absolutely, Babar has some concern. We're waiting for some, you know, the sheet and data that is going to help us to know what exactly this is, how these guys have been working in the last few games in the World Cup. And we'll wait for that. In the meanwhile, Chris is back. Chris, yes, he's nodding and he's raring to go. Chris, important question from you. What makes you so hopeful about Pakistan team? Because you're the one who's always rooting for the underdogs. You've got this theory. And by the way, congratulations on being picked up for the Legends League. You're going to come to India and play for some more time and learn some more Hindi. Meanwhile, yeah. Okay, all right. So that's the final score is 367 for 9 in 50 overs. Tasneem, your views on it?
Yeah, great total. Definitely a great total. You know, with the bowling attack that Australia's got, you know, they may not have too much of a concern about the Pakistani batting order, but I'd say it gives them and their bowlers as well a chance to be able to come out there and express themselves. You know, they don't have to work on containing. They've had hard totals to defend thus far in the World Cup. So I think it's a time for them to come out. We will definitely see bowlers trying a lot more variations. It definitely gives as well a chance to their spin bowlers. Maybe they might just bowl their spinners up front a lot earlier, or they'll just keep the seam attack going as long as possible, as opposed to bringing on something that maybe the Pakistanis may be more comfortable
Final
facing.
question, where's your money, Tasneem?
I'm with the Aussies today. I've been with them since this morning, unfortunately.
But what about the underdog theory that is being promoted?
Yeah, you know, it's good to pick your battle sometimes. You know, you can't always be on the losing side of this coin.
Well, of course, you've got to pick your battles. But Pakistan has picked up a very difficult battle to fight, win. And let's see how the batters shape up in this. That's all we had time for.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.